Hi students, Malachy here. There I am. So my last in the series of the concrete building video tutorials for you here. And so if you had been following along, and hope you have, you will note that in one of the tutorials I showed you how to construct your multi-category construction notes schedule. And just to show you how useful that was in terms of creating those kind of construction notes that you're going to use for your general arrangement drawings, for your building sections, for your elevations, all of those type of notes. Okay, and what I've done here with this multi-cat notes is that I've used a little filter here, and I'm just going to show you this. So sorry, it's a sorting and grouping. So I've sorted by family and type ascending here, and I've unchecked itemize everything because you remember it was absolutely huge. All right, and I went you go okay for that, and in the fields as well I threw an account here. See that one? So that went in as well. Now you can see that what it's done is that this is the size of my schedule now. Okay, so it's far easier to deal with than the itemize every instance there. And I put in the count just to make sure that, so you can see I've got 450 items of the wall type internal 03. And there's my note accompanying that, and the assembly code, assembly description, the level. Well, it varies as to what level these are on here. And I've got a common section in there as well, and the count. All right. So where if you go through that exercise, right, then you get into your ground floor and you can start populating your notes, your multi-category notes using annotate multi-category tag there. Select that one, and then hit the drop down box here, and you've got your choice of 4 there. So as you know this off by heart now: construction description and type mark, the elevation description, which is in the type comments box, the type mark, and the unit class there. All right, so we got 4 distinctions there, and you can see I've started to populate some of these already. Go into the first floor plan here. Again, I'm repeating that. All right, and in some cases, I'm just using the type mark only for things like doors and walls here. You can see I've got walls in there, I've got doors there. See those ones? All right. So I don't need to repeat the whole note. I just put in the type mark, and that refers back to the construction note. That's there as well. All right, and you'll be amazed how quickly this starts to go, because this is one of the items that takes up an awful lot of time. But if you put in the effort first, in terms of following what I was describing to you in creating a multi-category construction notes schedule, so you can update the note from here, you can update the note from there. It becomes a parametric note rather than a dumb note, and that's what we're trying to achieve here. Now you can go into your wall sections here and you can do the exact same. So I'll just activate that view, and I'll go into my multi-cat. So construction description and type mark. And again, because I have all of these in place, you can see now how quickly I can start to pull my notes together. And once I've got them on, I can start to arrange them like so. Make sure that you're using the free end, okay, because then you can take that one and point it that way. And you can start to populate all of these things here at the 1:20 scale for your wall sections. And so you'll probably start to pop in some fill regions to explain. Obviously, that's concrete, not blank, and whatever else, and the other bits and pieces that go in there. And then you'll follow that pattern through for all of your wall sections there. Now, it's when we get to the details that things get a little bit more specific in terms of your notes here. All right. So you could apply your general note, but that's not just going to be enough to explain what's going on in terms of at a scale of 1:10 or 1:5, whichever you're going to work on. All right. So This is where your material tag comes into its own. So here's your material tag. All right. And your material tag is, it should be in your UK library. If it's not, I think I actually have it up on your Engage where you can download it and put it into the tag section of the annotation folder within your UK library. All right. And if I'm using that, if I'm using the material tag, I can start to populate like so. And but I want to explain to you first of all where these notes, where the tag is going, the labels within the tag are going to extract the information out, and how we can organize that as well. All right, so that's what I want to show you in this video here. Right, so if I take this note and I'll double click it, and I'll go into the family here, and this is the label, and I'll go into the edit label of the material tag. Now you can see that basically what we've got in here is there's not a huge amount of fields in here. All right, not a huge amount of fields, but just for the moment I've added in description, mark, comments, model, manufacturer, and name. All right, so I want you to remember those five there. We don't have to have those five in. Description definitely, comments maybe, name definitely, something like that. All right. And so it goes in looking for the information under description, under comments, under model, under manufacturer, under name, extracts it out, and puts it onto your sheet like so. All right. So where do we input that information? And so what we got to do then is we've got to pick the element here, go into edit type, go to edit here, and you can see here's the material. Here's the HBA concrete cast in situ 2530 material. And where it is pulling that information from is from the identity tab of this material. Okay, so you can see here's the description, some comments, model, various other bits and pieces going in there as well. Now, for the majority of your materials, this will not be filled in. So if I go up to, say, cement board, okay, so I've got concrete, just getting a class of concrete, hit the drop down box there. You can see all the different classes here, and it's a good idea to have these put into the correct classification, if you like. Cladding, vertical rib, it's under metal, but there's no other information there. All right, now similarly, right, to how we did the construction notes, if you put the effort in and start to fill these out, then obviously you get the benefit of being able to run through all of your details with all of those kind of descriptions, the comments, the manufacturer, keynotes, marks, whatever else information that you want to put in there. And very often within the detail, the description is a lot more detailed than we would do, say, for the GAs or something like that. And I know up on the Brightspace website, Pierce has lots of samples up there of previous work, and you'll see the kind of detail that people have to gone into. So I'm going to pull back that HB concrete cast in situ. It's that one there, right? So I've got a description note in here, and I went to the Kilsaran website. Okay, I'll just show you this. And I found some data, some data on general purpose concrete, referring to international standard for Europe 206 and project specific requirements. And I copied and pasted that note, the pieces of that were useful for me, into this description here. Okay, you can see in the comments now I've got concrete in accordance with this specification. That's always good to have that in as part of your construction note, whatever else. You can see I've got a link here to that web page as well in Kilsaran. Now this could easily be all the other concrete manufacturers that are out there. You know, you don't have to specifically nominate Kilsaran, because then they become a nominated subcontractor, and that leads to all sorts of difficulties there as well. But the general specification note, unless you're using NBS specification writer or something like that, this is a way in around that. Now, what I want you to do is remember these parameters here. Okay, So how could I get all of these parameters into a schedule so that I can do the same type of editing that I was able to do in the GA notes, right? That I can do here, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do now. All right. So we're going to go down to our um, schedules and quantities. Okay, and we're going to do a material takeoff again. So this is a material takeoff rather than schedule and quantities. We're going to do multi-category tags. So we're going to do multi-category material notes for this one. All right, we go OK. I have to give it a unique name, notes, and I'll just call it A. Now, so what fields do we want? Now, if you remember, and I'll bring the picture up here so that we remember, and I'll show you this. So these are the fields that we want. Okay. Now, it's not that one that not that one that I want. It is the other one. I'll have to get it back here. Bear with me here 1 second. Pictures, and I go into HP Concrete. Okay, so that's the one that I want there. Right, all right. So we got these ones here. All right, so they are the fields basically that we're going to use. Now, the little trick that you got to know here is this one, that these are not, you're going to see, say, if I come up here to comments and description. Okay, so you can see I've got I've got comments there, and you might be tempted to use that one. Don't, because these are material parameters. So we got to scroll all the way down here to the material section. Here it is here right now. So we're going to go in there and we're going to pick material comments, material description. What else did we have? Let's scroll through here. Material manufacturer. Okay. Material name, definitely we want that one. Okay, and there was a couple of others there that again in material URL. All right, and do we have a material count as well? Let's just see if we have that. Cost, color, carbon. No. Okay. So let me just check our list again here. So we've got, you won't find keywords. We will find model, we will find cost, we will find keynote, and we will find mark. Okay. So let's just get all of these up here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Okay, there's keynote, material, mark. Okay, so that's most of them there, and I'm just going to move the name up to the top here. Right, comments, move description up next, comments there, manufacturing order. Now, let's hit that. See what that does for us. Okay, so here we go again. So we've got our description in here. Let's move this out a little bit so we get a bit of space there. Applications, concrete in accordance with ISN, and it's manufactured by Kilsaran. There's the URL if we need it, and again, not essential, but it's good to know that it's there. Okay, move that over. We've got a keynote here. Now, maybe rather than the keynote, what we might put in is, because we don't really use keynotes, that's for a different system here altogether. But let's see if we've got material unit glass down here. So yeah, we've got Uniglass code. Let's put that in as well. Move that up. Okay, and that is the Uniglass for concrete that we're using here now. So similarly, right, to what we did before, is we've got, and again, this is a huge list. So we could filter this by Fields, I'm going to go into sorting and grouping, and we'll do material name, descending, and we uncheck that one and go, okay, let's see what that does for us. Okay, that's an awful lot better. And do we have a count in here? And I like to put the count in. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a material count. I don't think there was a material count. So let's just put in a straightforward count here. See, oh, there you go. Put that one in the back. Now let's just scroll over to that. Yeah, so I've got 913 of this particular unit here. Okay, precast concrete. Now, so I could put in a really good descriptive note for my precast concrete. So precast concrete, I'm just going to put it in for the moment as per supplier manufacturer's information data. Okay, as per manufacturer's data, and we can correct spelling mistakes and all that kind of stuff. Data. Now, so that'll populate 913 times of that particular material here. Okay, and then you'll find lots of materials that are not populated as yet in terms of the material description. There's the HB concrete, that's the important one there. All right, and we can go in and put in a far more elaborate description of what that concrete is, and reinforced and whatever else needs to go in there. Okay, here's rock wool. We put in a rock wool description, and again, if you need to find out more about the rock wool material or something like that, well, go to the website. Pull out some information in terms of specification information in terms of the rock wool. You can put in the website that you have referred into, all right? Plywood, finish grade, all that type of stuff. There's stuff here that's all part of, say, furniture and things like that. You probably don't need to go into that kind of detail. But here's your Bowder roofing system. Okay, so you probably would like to go in and pick up those kind of details there as well. So everything that you change here, right, will then be updated in our materials. So if we're going to manage materials, and here's our HB concrete, will be updated in here as well. So we got that bi-directional connection between the identity and, of course, the material note that you're going to use to put in there, and the material category here. So it's just such a good way of organizing your construction notes. And this would be more material will come into its own in terms of scale of 1 to 10, 1 to 5, 1 to 2, and so on like that. And you have an opportunity now to go in and research the specification on the materials. You can reference it through the URLs. You can put in the company here. You can put in Kilsaran or similar, right? And that gets you out of that of having to price for Kilsaran concrete only, and you don't want to do that, right? That type of thing. In the comments as well here, you can have reference into IS international standards and other bits and pieces like that as well. You've got your Uniclass references there too. Now, so you got all of those there, and I'll just go back into our details here and back into our material tag. And as I said, so there's the material description. There's the mark, comments, model, manufacturer, name. And if I pick into that and go back into here, you can see that the ones that I've used here are the ones that are in that ID tab panel within the materials itself. And that is the way to go and organize it. Now, is it foolproof? No, it's not. Will it do a certain percentage of your notes? It'll do 100% of your notes, but it mightn't cover everything that needs to be covered, because there could be individual stuff that you need to get into here. But if you remember that every item here, is a building element. So it has a specification, it has a manufacturer, It probably does refer back to an international standard. What isn't described in this case here, but you could put into the description or into the comments, is the method of working. Okay, if you need to put in a description of that this goes in before that goes in. So you've got to put the glue on before you put the material up against the wall or something like that. And that you could use the description or the comments to put that in, and they will pop up here on the note as well. Now, the beauty of this is that this is no longer a dumb note. This is a parametric note, which can be edited here and updated 913 times across the whole of your model and all the notes within your model. And there, that's where tagging comes into its own here. And over the years, we have built up our methodology of using tags. And what we're doing here with this one here is taking it a step forward. So we had those multi-category tags for your general arrangement drawings. Now we've got multi-category tagging using the material tag for your 1:10, 1:5, 1:2 details. Okay,